Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh here for our regular official channel update on what's going on at the Capitol in Olympia. I just came from Seafood Day, where our oyster farmers from the 19th District and our crabbers and commercial fishermen were all in attendance, basically offering great seafood, oysters and crab and fish to the people here at the Capitol. It's like the days the cattlemen do with beef or the potato growers do with potatoes. It's become an essential theme day here at the Capitol, but it is heavily populated by working people and producers from our district, and it's great to see them here at the Capitol. On to business. We are at the end of the first period of the current legislative session. Significant bills have all gone through their chamber of origin, so House bills through the House, state Senate bills through the state Senate. Now, of course, they cross, and the process begins on a quicker basis in the other chamber. Of note, we were able to knock down a number of bad bills. I've mentioned some of them in the past. They have now gone to bill heaven and will not become law, at least not this year. Included in that number are a couple of bad anti-gun rights bills. The bill that would have created the $25,000 personal bond requirement if you own guns. The one that would have created the so-called safe storage law, which would have made you a criminal if someone stole your firearm and used it in a crime. That one didn't pass the smell test. It's gone to bill heaven. We also were able to stop a number of other bills that were troubling. Of a lot of local interest, mayors and city council members were concerned about House Bill 1380, which was the so-called homeless Bill of Rights that would have allowed homeless people to camp basically on any public property they chose. That one did not pass, is not going to be law, and that's a big relief to our mayors and city council members and police chiefs around the district. On the law enforcement note, there was House Bill 1399, which would have given the governor unusual powers to decertify elected sheriffs around the state of Washington, and would have ultimately begun the process of stopping election of sheriffs, changing to a system where sheriffs would be appointed by county councils or county commissions. That one was a bad idea. We were able to stop that one. There was also the so-called bottle bill, which would have created a new deposit and tax on cans or bottles of soda pop or beer. That one we stopped. And a number of other bad bills too. Of great concern of the bills that did make it through, a couple of the bills that seek to overturn the Parents' Bill of Rights. That's House Bill 1296 and Senate Bill 5181. Those are still alive. A couple of the bills that will raise taxes, bills that we're opposed to, are still alive. And watch particularly for the proposal from the left here to increase property taxes by 3% automatically every year instead of the current 1%. That's a bad proposal that's still alive. And the so-called Fauci Jr. bill, that's a bill that really increases the emergency powers that the governor has and the ability of the bureaucrats at the State Department of Health to make edicts during a public health emergency is still alive. That one's very troubling and runs against the spirit of the new governor's commitment to limit emergency powers. Now, the governor has said even though there won't be a law to limit emergency powers, he'll do it voluntarily, which is not satisfying to many Washingtonians. We want to see reform to emergency powers in our state that clearly limit what the governor and the bureaucrats at the State Department of Health or other departments in the state government can do during a declared emergency. A lot still to do, and it bears repeating, the real focus in the time left in this legislative session is going to be on the budgets. Remember, 3 budgets: operating, the big one, transportation, a separate budget, and capital construction. 3 budgets at the state level, and those negotiations are really getting into the intense period starting this week and next week. So the talk is going to be about budgets, and hand in hand with that conversation, taxes. My position is no new state taxes. We're already taxed heavily enough. And my position on the budgets and spending is freeze it. We don't need to cut it necessarily, but we've got to stop growing our budgets in Olympia every year. That's it for this week. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're eating some good seafood, oysters and crabs and fish and everything else that comes to us through the 19th District. Talk to you soon.